Think you're immune to mind games? Think again. From getting someone to like you without saying a word, to getting out of awkward situations with one strange question, these psychological tricks sound like magic, but they're backed by real science, and they just might change how you interact with the world. Welcome to the Top 10 Facts Club, where today we're diving into the weirdest, most unexpected psychological tricks that actually work. Whether you want to influence others, improve your confidence, or navigate tricky conversations, these tips are proven, powerful, and a little bit wild. Like, share, and subscribe, because these aren't your average self-help tips. 10. The door in the face technique. Want someone to agree to a small favor? Start by asking for something huge. It sounds counterintuitive, but here's how it works. When you ask for a big request first, like donating $100 to a cause, and they say no, you follow up with your real request. Say $10. Now, because they already turned you down once, they're more likely to say yes to the smaller one. This works because of the contrast effect and social pressure. People feel guilty about saying no and want to appear helpful. In one famous study, researchers asked students to volunteer as counselors for 2 years. Everyone said no. Then they asked if they'd chaperone a single zoo trip. Boom, 50% agreed compared to just 17% when it was asked alone. Salespeople use this constantly. First, they pitch the expensive product, then offer a discount or cheaper alternative that suddenly feels more acceptable. Even in everyday life, asking for extensions, negotiating rent, or talking with friends, you can use this to reset expectations and improve outcomes. Mastering this technique isn't about manipulation, it's about framing. 9. Use the power of silence. One of the most underrated psychological tactics is doing nothing. Silence can be a weapon. In negotiations, after you make a point or proposal, say nothing. Let the silence linger. People hate awkward pauses, and they'll often fill it by agreeing with you, offering more information, or backing down. It's also powerful in interviews, therapy, and arguments. Studies show that silent pauses increase perceived authority and dominance. In fact, FBI negotiators are trained to use strategic silence to extract confessions or build rapport. It gives people space to talk themselves into your idea without you saying a word. Silence also demonstrates confidence. When you're not rushing to fill gaps, people assume you're in control. Public speakers use this trick to make their message land. Parents and teachers use it to let consequences sink in. In a fast-paced world, silence disrupts the noise and forces attention. And sometimes, the most persuasive thing you can say is nothing at all. 8. The Ben Franklin effect. Here's a strange one. If you want someone to like you more, ask them for a favor. Weird, right? But it's real. When someone does something nice for you, their brain looks for a reason to justify it. Since they did something helpful, they conclude they must like you. Ben Franklin famously used this trick on a rival politician. He asked to borrow a rare book. The man agreed, and afterward became a lifelong ally. It's cognitive dissonance at play. We tend to align our beliefs with our actions to avoid inner conflict. In modern settings, this can be used in offices, classrooms, and even networking events. Ask someone for help proofreading an email, or to share advice on something they're good at. They'll feel involved, respected, and unconsciously, they'll warm up to you. The trick is to keep the favor small but meaningful, enough to engage their effort, but not enough to trigger resistance. 7. Sometimes the sweetest sound is your own name. People love hearing their own names. It's one of the sweetest sounds to the human brain. Using someone's name in conversation makes them feel recognized, respected, and valued. It signals you're paying attention. Dale Carnegie emphasized this in How to Win Friends and Influence People, and neuroscience backs it up. Hearing our name triggers strong brain activity in areas linked to social behavior. It creates emotional connection and trust. In customer service, saying someone's name reassures them they're not just another number. In leadership, it signals attentiveness. Want to build trust fast with a boss, client, or date? Use their name naturally. Thanks, Sarah, or you're absolutely right, Tom. But moderation is key. Overuse can sound manipulative. Used well, it can flip a neutral interaction into a warm, personal one. 6. The foot in the door technique. This is the psychological opposite of the earlier door in the face trick. Instead of starting big, you start small. Ask someone for a tiny, non-threatening request, like signing a petition. Later, hit them with the real ask, like attending an event or making a donation. Why does this work? Because people like to appear consistent. Once they've said yes once, they're mentally invested in the idea. This technique was used in a 1966 study where homeowners who agreed to put a small sign in their window were much more likely to agree to a massive billboard on their lawn later. It's all about warming people up gradually. You can see this in sales calls. Can I ask you a quick question? Subscriptions start with our free trial, or even friendships. Can you help me pick a restaurant? It's gentle momentum, and when used ethically, it helps you build trust before making a bigger request. 5. The fake choices trick. Want someone to do what you want while making them feel like they're in control? Offer them 2 choices, both of which lead to your desired outcome. For example, do you want to take your medicine before or after dinner? You're not asking if they'll take it, you're guiding how. This is widely used in parenting, teaching, and negotiations. It avoids confrontation and gives the illusion of autonomy. Studies show that when people feel in control of a decision, even if it's manufactured, they're more likely to follow through and feel satisfied with the outcome. This is also a retail trick. Would you like the red shirt or the blue one? Not, do you want to buy a shirt? It reduces resistance and gives people a sense of ownership. You're not commanding, they're choosing, and that can make all the difference. 4. Mirror their moves, and they'll mirror your trust. Mirroring is the art of subtly copying someone's body language, speech patterns, or gestures. Done right, it creates instant rapport and trust. Why? Because we're wired to like people who are like us. It activates the brain's mirror neurons, boosting empathy and social bonding. In a study by psychologist Tanya Chartrand, waiters who mirrored customers' posture and tone received 70% higher tips. This tactic works in romantic settings, job interviews, and even negotiations. Mirroring someone's energy, speed of speech, or vocabulary makes them feel safe without them even knowing why. But here's the trick. Keep it subtle. Wait a few seconds before mimicking. Match tone and rhythm more than exact words or actions. Done wrong, it can feel creepy. Done right, it makes people think, I like this person, but I'm not sure why. That's the sweet spot. 3. The spotlight effect. You think everyone notices your bad hair day? They don't. That's the spotlight effect. A psychological bias where we believe we're being watched and judged more than we actually are. In one famous experiment, students were asked to wear an embarrassing Barry Manilow t-shirt into a room full of peers. They predicted that nearly 50% would notice. In reality, only 23% did. Understanding this can reduce social anxiety and help you be more confident. Most people are too focused on themselves to scrutinize you. Embrace the freedom. It's your secret superpower. In practice, this helps with public speaking, trying new styles, or expressing opinions. Everyone is starring in their own mental movie. You're just a background character in most people's minds. Use that knowledge to act with courage, not fear. 2. Nod while you talk. Want someone to agree with you more often? Nod as you speak. This nonverbal cue suggests confidence and approval, and the other person unconsciously mimics it. In one Japanese study, interviewers who nodded as they asked questions received more positive responses and cooperation. Nodding also reinforces your point subtly. It says, "This is good. Agree with me." Combine it with positive affirmations like, "Right? Or, "You know what I mean?" And suddenly you're a walking agreement magnet. Just don't overdo it, or it gets creepy. This trick also works in group settings. Leaders who nod when listening are perceived as more empathetic. Salespeople who nod while explaining benefits increase customer trust. It's small, but powerful. 1. Change the environment to change the behavior. Sometimes the best psychological trick isn't about what you say, it's about what surrounds you. Behavioral psychologists have proven that environmental cues shape decisions. Want to eat healthier? Put fruit on the counter and hide the chips. Trying to study more? Set up a clean, designated space just for work. Even lighting and wall color influence behavior. Blue boosts focus. Red triggers urgency. Yellow sparks creativity. This is called choice architecture. Marketers use it all the time. Supermarkets put candy at eye level. Casinos use maze-like layouts to keep you inside. You can do the same. Design your surroundings to make good habits easy and bad habits hard. Want to spend less? Remove shopping apps from your phone. Want to read more? Leave a book on your pillow. Structure drives behavior more than willpower. You don't need to force change. Just guide it. These tricks might seem simple, but their impact is huge. Psychology isn't just for textbooks. It's a powerful tool you can use every day to influence, connect, and succeed. Which of these tricks surprised you most? Have you unknowingly used one before? Smash that like button, subscribe for more fascinating mind hacks, and check out our next video on 10 psychological biases that secretly control your life. Until next time, don't just think smarter, outsmart the world.